Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Thank you so much for joining me. Now today I'm doing a Happy Day series. Happy Day series, we use what we have on hand or what we have in our stash, and so today I'm going to make a card using a paper pad. I have so many paper pads and I'm going to be using them up. And that's the great thing about the Happy Day series. So this paper pad is from Echo Park and it's called Anything Goes. So I had already picked out the pattern papers I wanted to use today, and we're going to take a stitched rectangle die and cut out our background panel using the polka dot pattern here. We're going to make a happy birthday card, and so I thought these colors were bright and fun and cheery. I'm going to take my paper trimmer and we're going to trim down a little bit over a 1/4 inch strip here. And then I'm going to trim down another piece of the same paper 3/4 of an inch. We're going to create three little presents, and so I want 3 different sizes. For this pattern paper, we're going to trim down another 1/4 inch strip, a little bit over a 1/4 inch strip, and then this is 1 1/4 inch strip. a lot of 1 1/4s. I want to do the same thing to this one, just making it a little bit wider. This one is actually 1 1/2 inches wide. Okay, so those are going to be our 3 presents. The thin strip that we cut out, I'm going to create a box topper. So we're going to glue that down. I'm going to take some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, add a little bit to the very top part of the pattern paper here, adhere the thin piece, and then we're going to do that to all 3 of them. And then we're going to trim them all down at the same time. I think presents look a lot more finished. Well, it looks more finished than a piece of rectangle paper. So I like to add present toppers. I'm just going to trim it down and then trim down my paper. And we're going to do this one too. This is going to be my short one. I'm going to trim that down a little bit more, and then I'm going to do the red one, trim off the top, and then this is going to be my tall skinny present. So there we have it. Now all presents need bows, so I'm grabbing some white jute cord from my stash. I'm just going to leave the tails a little bit long and then tie a bow. And how I like to wrap my presents is I trim the tails off, add a little bit of glue behind the present, and then place my bow at the very top, and then just wrap that string, one string around the back, and then I'll take the other side and wrap that around the back as well. So it creates a cute little present. And I'm going to do that to all 3 of them. So cute. Okay, now we'll push those aside, and then I have a piece of vellum. This is Basil's 40-pound vellum. I'm going to take the largest stitched circle die that I have, and I'm going to cut a piece out. And I end up trimming off the right side of that circle later on. Now, I'm going to use this stamp set from Lawn Fawn. It's the Happy 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 stamp set. Love this stamp set because there's not just happy birthday sentiments, but it's graduation, you have Mother's Day, Father's Day, holidays, so it's perfect for that. There's 3 large happies in this stamp set, and the 3 large happies, you can purchase coordinating dies to go with it. So I'm going to stamp one of the large happies. I'm going to end up die cutting that out. But I'm also going to take the small happy birthday sentiment there. I'm going to stamp that. I actually stamped them both with my VersaFine ink. And then I'm going to grab some scratch paper, add some crystal clear embossing powder from Nuvo, and I'm going to go ahead and melt that. I think the embossing powder adds a little bit of shine to the card. I just think it looks really nice. Once we have that done, I'm going to cut out the word happy, and then I have a sentiment stitched banner die here from MFT. I'm going to cut out my happy birthday, and then I'm also going to cut out a banner with this pattern paper here. So everything's die cut. Now I wanted to create a tag for the happy birthday, and so how I'm going to do this is I'm going to trim off the fishtail end. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the beginning of my happy birthday sentiment, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my pattern paper. Once that's done, I'm going to fold it. I'm going to flip it around, trim it, and then add a little more glue in the back. That's going to give me a fun little red and white accented tag. Now I'm going to take my crocodile and punch a hole in there. And then I have some white eyelets. These are actually larger eyelets. I'm going to grab a white one and place that inside the center there, and I'm just going to press down, and I have a cute little tag. Now I'm going to grab a little bit more of my white jute cord here, and I'm just going to thread it through. Normally when I have tags, I like to tie bows, but I thought since we have 3 bows on our presents that I didn't want to get bow happy. So I decided to just leave that. Now we're going to build our little scene here. There's where I cut off the vellum there. Now I'm going to take my background panel, the polka dotted, and I'm going to add some tape behind it and adhere that to my card base. My card base today is a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card base. Place that right in the center. Then I'm going to add a little bit of glue to my vellum piece, and I'm kind of putting the glue where I think I'm going to place my presents. That way you can't see it. And then I'm going to place that on my panel. And then as I did that, I thought I wanted to wrap the twine behind my pattern paper. So I'm going to lift this entire panel up and take it off my card base. I'm going to add some foam squares behind my sentiment here. I'm going to place that towards the bottom of our panel, and then I'm going to flip that panel around, and then I'm going to wrap my tag string behind there, and then I'm going to secure it with some foam tape. And I like this outcome a lot better. I like the more finished look. Now I'm going to place that panel back on my card base. Lovely. I think that looks fun. Now I'm going to add some foam tape behind my presents, and then I'm going to arrange them kind of layered on top of each other right above the happy birthday sentiment. I'm using my happy kind of as a guide where to put them. And I think that looks really fun. Now I'm going to add my happy. I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape behind the H, so I'm cutting out really super thin strips, and then I'm going to use my tape runner on the rest of the happy. That way everything lays nice and even. I'm going to place that on top of my little tag there. So my sentiment says happy, happy birthday. Okay, now for bells and whistles, I have these sequins from Jelly Bean Soup. These are adhesive back sequins, and these are so nice. You don't have to worry about gluing them or anything. You just take them off and stick them. But I'm going to place a few around my presents there. And that's it. That's my card for today. If I can find any links for the products I used today, I'll leave them in the description area or over on my blog. I wish you a fantastic day, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.